If there are any cheat codes in life, I would say, and if you had asked me, out of all the cheat codes that you've tried and incorporate this habit and do this for 30 days and see how your life changes, and if you do this one thing, your life is going to drastically change. I don't really believe in that. I don't think there's ever one specific thing you can do that's going to drastically change your life. I think it's small, incremental, micro changes that ultimately compound in the long run that will enable you to reap the rewards that you need to. But if I had to pick one thing that I think would have one of the biggest ROIs in terms of your life and enabling you to attain the goals that you want to attain, it's de-sexualising your mind. Gentlemen, this is an absolute cheat code. I actually made this joke to my mate the other day. Actually, I said, it wasn't actually just him, I said it to 2 or 3 people on different occasions, but it was all in a space of a week last week. And I said to him, I said, mate, if pussy wasn't a thing, I would have already been a millionaire by now. And I'm not even, I know you say it tongue in cheek and it's a bit of a joke, but there is some truth to it. And you understand what I mean by that. Look, the amount of time, especially when you're in your teens and 20s, you're so obsessed with chasing women because your testosterone is up, you're hitting the gym, you're young, you look relatively good, you're horny. Very normal, especially when you're busting nuts all over yourself. After a while, it's not enough. It doesn't satisfy the urge, so you want to go out and, even though you might have anxiety and social anxiety, you still have the urge and desire. So you spend your free time chasing women, downloading dating apps. You see that doesn't work, you masturbate a bit more, but you're deviating from what you must do, which is becoming the best version of yourself, which is, I'm not saying for all of you start a business, entrepreneurship isn't for everyone, but that could be studying on a course to become skilled in a certain field aspect so that you can become, you can become qualified in that area. It could be studying, it could be starting a business, it could be hitting the gym consistently. The productive things that you need to be doing on a daily to weekly basis, but instead you're occupying your time chasing tail. And well, a lot of you will say, well, Ken, but I'm young and, beautiful women around me and I want to date them. And absolutely, the fact that you have urges, the fact that you have that desire is a good sign. It means that you're healthy. I'm not saying have the wish and dream of, I never had the urge, because brothers, trust me, if you don't have the urge, if you don't have morning wood, if you don't feel like, you want to interact with the opposite sex and become captivating, then it means there's a problem and you might have to visit the doctors to get your testosterone levels checked and have a few checkups in terms of blood pressure and all of that, because clearly there's something a bit wrong with you. The fact that you have urges means you're a healthy male. That's a very normal thing. We talk about transmuting your sexual energy, huge concept spoken about in Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, which is a very hard thing to do, by the way. That is not an easy thing to do. Like, that is probably one of my main criticisms of that book. It lays it out in such layman terms, simple terms, as if it's a piece of cake. It's not. It's hard because you're going to fail multiple times, especially if you're like me, who is a chronic masturbator. It's not easy transmuting your sexual energy, but I digress. So you occupy a lot of your time chasing tail, which is deviating you away from the journey of what you're supposed to be doing. The key that a lot of people say that I interacted with and people that are on self-improvement, they'll say things like, but how do I actually go about desexualizing my mind? Because my brain is always occupied of naked women, of pornography, and that's the biggest issue. If you're constantly thinking about sex, if you're constantly thinking about women, you walk out on the street, especially in summertime. Here in London, it's gorgeous. It's 24 degrees, full sunshine, Celsius, by the way, for my American audience. I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's 24 degrees Celsius is our measurement here. Beautiful sunshine. I was out earlier actually, and you see women in their summery outfits, and you know what I mean, right? A bit more revealing than in the winter, obviously, and you get aroused and you're constantly thinking about sex, you're constantly thinking about women, and it's not enabling you to focus, and it's going to deter you from actually attaining your goals. One of the main reasons is, A, you could be a single man, so you don't have sex very often, and therefore it's always going to occupy your mind. I'll give you a perfect analogy. Think of when you're hungry. When you're hungry, you're starving, you really want to eat. It's occupying your mind. You can't think of anything else but food. But when your fridge is full of food and you've just eaten, the last thing you want to think about is food. If anything, you guys will know this. When you have just eaten and your stomach is about to implode and you walk through a market and you can just smell oil and the sort of scent of food, it almost disgusts you. It repulses you. It's the same thing. It's the same thing with women. If you have constant regular sex and you're not a single man, you're in a relationship and you have sex a lot, which is a very important thing of life, it won't occupy your mind. Now, I'm not saying go out and sleep with loads of women. That is absolutely not what I'm encouraging you to do. What I'm saying is you should be pursuing a long-term relationship, a meaningful relationship with a woman that you find attractive and vice versa, that you can bond and build together. That is what I'm encouraging. And therefore, that is one way that will help you desexualize your mind. Number two, right, which is probably what you're still doing, and that is watching pornography. Watching pornography and jerking all over yourself with semen dripping down your chest. When you're doing that on a consistent basis, you view women, you objectify women, you view them as objects, you look at them and you think they're pieces of meat. I know this because I've been there. That's what pornography does to you. It's filthy, it's disgusting. Pornography isn't how sex should be portrayed, because that is not what real life sex is. But you view women in a different light. You become anxious, you become nervous, you constantly think about sex. You're like an addict, like a coke addict, where like before you even do anything, you start shaking and shuddering and you have anxiety running through you, because that's what dopamine addiction does to you. That's what pornography addiction does to you. It sexualizes your mind. You view everything like sex. Your mind becomes corrupted. You become dirty. Anything you see in real life, you refer it back to sex. You relate it back to sex, because your mind is so sexual. It's corrupted, it's filthy. So the easiest way to desexualize your mind is NoFap, but actually not just NoFap, it's making a lifestyle. I hate the term streak, because you're implying that the streak's going to come to an end. That's what streaks do. They come to an end. What you're supposed to be doing is you're forming an identity. You are becoming someone. This is now a lifestyle. Forget the counting days nonsense. That's why it's very important. In the beginning, you're going to be very horny, and actually in the short term it might be worse, but in the long term it's going to be conducive and beneficial for you. So it's encouraging you to actually enter into a long-term relationship, so sex is rarely on your mind. 2, it's cutting out pornography and masturbation. That's the first thing you can do if you're a single man and you're not in a relationship, because that will help you view women as actual humans that you can interact with. I don't care if she's 10 out of 10, she's still human, she still farts, she's still shit, her breath stinks in the morning, we're all the same. You talk to them, you treat them like a human being, it's exactly the same. And cutting out that filthy habit is going to help you desexualize your mind. And actually, it's a cheat code in your future endeavors, because now, not only is sex not occupying your mind, you're able to focus. You're going to be channeling and transmuting, as I alluded to earlier, transmuting that sexual energy into your endeavors, into your work, into your projects, your businesses, your studying, the gym. You build muscle a lot quicker in a gym when you're on NoFap. Everything is a win-win-win-win-win. It's just a domino effect that's ultimately going to lead you to success. And that's going to help you become a lot more of a captivating gentleman. That's going to help you attract the woman that you desire and that you want. You can't pull that caliber of woman now, but as you go on self-improvement, you'll easily attract and bring in that type of woman. But it all comes with desexualizing your mind. That's why I say it's a cheat code, and that's why I made that joke in the beginning when I tell my mates sometimes that, God, if pussy wasn't a thing, I'd be a millionaire already. Because even though it's tongue-in-cheek and it's actually a joke, there's a serious undertone to it. And that's what I'm referring to. Desexualizing your mind is an absolute cheat code. It will help you become the man that you need to become and become successful. Smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll see all of you guys for my next video. Peace.